I know sometimes I'm thought of as a trick rider, but trick riding isn't jumping on a horse that's never been ridden and getting bucked off all the time. So before I get started and before I start teaching tricks and start hanging off the side of a horse, I want my basic control. I want to make sure my horse is ready, prepared, it's focused, it's acclimated to its environment, and it's relaxed. It's not nervous. I'm afraid it's going to do something to it. I want my horse to be okay with its environment, relaxed, focused on me. Step 1. Use of skills to be taught. We use these exercises to start young horses. We use these exercises to let seasoned horses play and get their energy out. We also use these exercises to introduce basic control aids. These exercises are also great for introducing voice aids. Step 2. Goals and benefits of the exercises. Starting a young horse. When we start a young horse, these exercises are excellent for getting them to yield to bit pressure. They're also excellent for getting them to move forward off pressure from behind. On the ground, the pressure is the whip, but in the saddle, the pressure is your leg. They also learn to go forward with all 3 gaits with tack on. And a horse that's also cold back, it's great for them to get to canter with tack on before you get in the saddle. For a seasoned horse, these exercises are great for a warm-up. These exercises allow them to release extra energy. If there's something in the ring that they are concerned about, it gives them a chance to acclimate to that object. Lunging also provides an excellent opportunity to introduce voice aids. Going back to the first principle of Taji horsemanship, which is to every action there's a reaction, handling your horse on the ground helps to increase the handler's awareness of how what they do affects their horse. Okay, let's go to step 3 and talk about the tools you're going to need. The main piece of equipment I need is a lunge line. I prefer a cotton lunge line without a chain. The next piece of equipment I need is a lunge whip, also known as a lash whip. Lunge whips come in different weights and sizes, and everybody should find the lunge whip that they're comfortable using. The next piece of equipment you need is a hobble. One characteristic of the hobble is that it's wide. The reason you want it to be wide is so it won't damage or hurt any of the horse's tendons or bones. The hobble is also lined with a fleecy cotton that is protection. And the reason you want fleece is because it's soft, it will not bring rope burns, and it also provides a little bit of cushioning. Also, the lead shank that is attached to the hobble is cotton. The reason you want it to be cotton is so it's soft and safe. The last equipment you'll need is the tack you'll be lunging your horse with. Your options for tack to lunge your horses could be a halter, bridle, or saddle, or various tack that you might be using. As a quick review, for lunging, the tools you're going to need is your lunge line, your lunge whip, your hobble, and whatever tack you will be using. Okay, folks, let's move on to step 4, prerequisites. If you have a young horse, it should be responsive to all the exercises taught and in focus. And let me explain what I mean when I talk about this. If it's a young horse and it comes out fresh and is not focused on you, you are best to take it back to the round pen and go back a couple steps before you start going on the lunge line, because it's pointless to have a horse dragging you around on a lunge line. If it is not relaxed and focused on you, you want to take a couple steps back and go back to the round pen in order to get it focused on you and relaxed. The handler should be able to handle the whips while always being focused on the horse. In addition, the handler needs to know exactly when the whips are engaged and disengaged, because the horse will definitely be able to tell. The last prerequisite should be that your horse is comfortable with basic single hobble training. The reason for this is if your horse happens to get loose or steps on the lunge line, they won't panic. The next key points I would like to talk about are going to be the use of a lunge whip. The lunge whip is an extension of my hand. Rarely will you ever see me crack the whip or hit the horse. With Taji horsemanship, we use progressive levels of communication. In meaning, I only want to use as much pressure as I need. I prefer to start with less and only add more if I need it. Using the lunge whip should be second nature, so you can focus on your horse. The handler should be proficient with the whip, so they never ever have to take their focus off the horse. They should always be aware of when the whip is engaged at the horse and disengaged at the horse. Having good whip handling skills is going to be extremely critical to have success with you and your horse. That being said, I'm going to show you a couple whip handling exercises before you get in an arena with your horse.